And we had a fantastic partnership with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, where we actually worked with them to remove criminal illegal immigrants in our communities because we saw the amount of crime that was being caused. We saw the people that they were preying upon was other people that were in our country illegally. As a result of that partnership, our crime rate dropped and we became the 5th safest city in the country. Those partnerships work. Enforcing our laws work. What we have seen is the exact opposite under this administration, and you have seen people dying.
Let me stop and ask you about this. A couple things. First off, illegal immigrants' criminal conviction rate is 45% below that of native-born Americans in your state, just to be clear. When you raise the specter of they create so many crimes, they're convicted. I mean, when it comes to violent crimes, property crimes, homicides, sex crimes, you've talked in the past about rapes, the numbers just don't support that.
Every time a House Republican goes on TV to push their fear-mongering strategies about border policies, it's clear why former President Trump told them to reject a favorable bill to keep the issue alive. But the walls are closing in on their arguments, and the new speaker is running out of passable excuses.
You have said that you want a meeting with the president, as Scott was saying. H.R. 2 is dead in the Senate. You yourself were part of killing the Senate compromise bill. You called it dead on arrival from what you knew. So my question to you is, while you say there need to be solutions, what are House Republicans doing to get to a solution on the border and on Ukraine? Or are you going to actually do nothing? What is your proposal? What are you doing?
No, we're addressing each of those issues. They're important issues on the table. We are not going to be forced into action by the Senate, who, in the latest product they sent us over, does not have one word in the bill about America's border, not one word about security. The reason that the other one was dead on arrival is because it did not meet the moment. It would not have solved the problem. You can't leave giant loopholes and codify some of the things that have gotten us into this situation.
Speaker Johnson said, "We will not be forced into action by the Senate." That soundbite should be played every time a politician acknowledges the extremely low approval rating of Congress, which hit a new record low last year in October when Republicans ate their own and booted McCarthy. And Johnson's approach appears to match Trump's. Ignore elections and the wishes of your constituents. Just follow MAGA because they have no desire to listen to voters if Trump takes his dictatorial post anyway.
Mishandle this issue and effectively give Democrats something to campaign on.
No, not at all. Look, the American people are with us on this issue. I mean, they are with us because they understand you have to actually solve the problem. And the product that was produced by the Senate did not solve the problem. You've all heard us hammer over and over H.R. 2, right? That was our signature piece of legislation that we passed many, many months ago, last year. And the reason that all those components are important, again, is because they have to fit together. That's got to solve the problem. You have to address all of them. The Senate bill didn't do that, and that's why it was rejected.
Johnson continues to live in a world where he can simply declare that the American people are with him, despite real-life events happening all around him, including that special election victory for Democrat Tom Suozzi.
I was in the district the day after Republicans shanked it, to use your term, and I heard from voters that they were these are obviously very well-informed voters, right, but they were at the polling station, they were voting early, and several of them said to me that they don't want to vote for the Republican because it's clearly impossible to get a solution on the issue of immigration. They said the border problem, the immigration issue, the migrant issue in their district was the top issue for them. And that the fact that Republicans killed that bipartisan deal put them over the edge to vote for Tom Suozzi.
That was George Santos' seat. His embarrassing ouster from the halls of Congress led to Suozzi taking over his seat, which is why Speaker Johnson made sure to hurry up and go for round 2 of impeaching Secretary Mayorkas before Republican numbers shrank even more with that election. They know that they're wildly unpopular. They know that their policies aren't in step with both democracy and the will of a vast majority of the country. But their last gasp is to line up behind Donald Trump and his I and I alone belief system. He's almost all they've got left. But that's not stopping Democrats from taking this political victory lap on an issue that they've been defensive on for years.
We had a bipartisan immigration solution. It was blocked. Well, guess what? My Republican friends now own the issue. You are responsible solely now for what's going on the border. You are responsible for the fentanyl crisis in this country.